Hi guys, DFX back with you. Welcome back to the channel. If you're new to my channel, hit the subscribe button, share, like it with your friends and stuff. And without further ado, let me get into what this video is about. It is about my physical media collection. A couple weeks ago here on the channel, I'll post a video where you guys can go back and take a look. I epically failed at finding physical media of new, actually should be brand new items in Fort Collins, Colorado. And I couldn't figure out why physical media keeps slowly dying, I guess. It's really weird considering the rejuvenation of vinyl records lately. So I've been watching a lot of people talk about their physical media collection. So I thought, hey, you know what? It's time to share mine with you all. So here we go. I'm gonna go and pretty much, I have them pretty much in alphabetical order. Yeah, so here we go right off the bat. Don't know how the best way to do this here is. My very first movie right off the bat. Love this flick. It's kind of like a female Mission Impossible kind of movie. Love the characters in it, whatnot. 355. Go check it out. I enjoyed it quite a bit. I've really gotten into a lot of the disaster movies. Thanks to my wife. She really has, I mean, I've always watched them, but I've always now have more of appreciation for the disaster movies. And I'm starting to upgrade a lot of my collection to 4K. So here's right off 2012. Really good flick. And I got it in 4K. A lot of the movies I'm going to be showing you are just like ones I grew up on. Some are old, some are new. I keep my collection pretty accurate. Let's continue here. Next up, got both the original Addams Family movie and the sequel, Addams Family Values, which is really cool. Was a fan of the TV show growing up. Don't really how to present this in a different way, but yeah, Addams Family. Yeah, this is gonna. Of course, this is off the fly here. No script, no nothing. Struggling because I got them so tight. I might have to get another shelf or two. Next up, I got Beautiful Day in the Neighborhood. Tom Hanks. Always liked Mr. Rogers, and this is pretty accurate to the way his life was in this movie. Next up, really big movie that I enjoyed growing up as a kid. Tried to watch it whenever I could. This one's really cool because it's actually signed Adventures in Babysitting. It's signed by the kid who played Brad Anderson, Keith Coogan. Met him just last year, 2000, at the Colorado Springs Comic Con. This is going to be kind of shaky. I'm sorry, guys. I don't know really how to do this. So, next up, I'm just going to go through them as I can here. I recently have picked up Christmas Story on 4K. Yes, I know it's on every single year, every holiday, 24 hours, but it's one I really enjoy. Next up, I've got A League of Their Own. And I'm not really into baseball, but I was really interested in the girls' baseball league, and this is kind of based on a true story. Got Gina Davis, Tom Hanks, Madonna, all-star cast. This is one of those movies I was really kind of into. After that, one of the current movies has been out in just the past year or so. Ambulance, really good action flick. I was really surprised. I enjoyed the whole story with Jake Gyllenhaal trying to persuade this guy to steal some money for his family. It's a good flick. Check it out. So, you know, a lot of my collection, I got some classics. One of my favorite SNL skit movies, other than Wayne's World, which I don't own yet, but will eventually, is A Night at the Roxbury. Chris Kattan, Will Ferrell. Probably one of the greatest SNL parody movies they did off a skit. I love this flick. Next up, we got, every year this was on for a long time every year, and every time it's on, I have to watch it for some reason. I ended up getting Annie. Yeah, I don't know why. It's just one of those movies I always watched when I was growing up. Yeah, Annie. So, let's see. I got Walk in the Clouds. Kind of an overrated or underrated movie. I thought I really enjoyed it for the time. Was the modern day A-Team, and I don't know why I enjoyed it. It kind of stayed true to the story or the story of the original show, but it's another one I enjoyed. Yeah, this is going to be a pain. So here's what we're doing. I'll put one down so I have room to take stuff out here. Next up, really good, another HD 4K that I have. Alita Battle Angel. I'm going to have to go back and watch this. It's been a long time since I don't think I've seen it since it was in the theater, but really enjoyed the animation style for this flick. Atomic Blonde. Charlize Theron. Good flick. Good action. Yeah. Then, for the longest time, I did not like these movies, and I don't know why, but as I saw more and more when they re-aired them on TBS, TNT, they started to grow on me. Got the Austin Powers trilogy. There's been rumors of a new one coming, so I hope Mike Myers can make that happen. I said Michael Myers. Well, that's a whole different story. Anyway, next up, Avatar in Blu-ray. I'm hoping maybe when they release the new one, they'll put out a 4K version, and I'll probably upgrade to the 4K. This is my favorite trilogy of all time, over Star Wars, over anything Star Trek. I don't know why, but it's Back to the Future. I have just recently upgraded to 4K with this. Probably my all-time favorite movie. Got posters. If you've seen my other collection videos, you know that. Well, take a look here. I've got all the Playmobil action figures that they put out. I've got the complete set for except 2 figures. One of my favorite all-time movies. Really cool. This movie here is about it's how they restored the original Back to the Future DeLorean that had been sitting pretty much just sitting, and they've go through and show you how they restored it. It's in the Peterson Museum now in California, but very, very good documentary about if you like Back to the Future. Okay, I've got Barbed Wire, starring Pamela Anderson. I got this mainly because it was a very underrated movie. It's kind of critically panned as bad and awful, but I got it because Pamela Anderson, I grew up watching. She was on Home Improvement and then became famous doing all the Playboy stuff, but very underrated flick. Next up, I got the very first Hasbro adaptation of a board game. Battleship. I don't know, just got that for the fact that it was a first for them. Growing up as a kid, I always would watch Beavis and Butthead on MTV. They're back now too, and kind of had a resurgence on Paramount Plus, but this is their first motion picture. My arm's getting tired there. Next up, Beetlejuice. This was one I saw a lot in the theater, and I'm actually kind of hearing in the last well, probably the last year and a half or so, they were trying to get Michael Keaton back to do a new one, and well, it's happening. Him and Winona Ryder and Jenny Ortega will play Winona Ryder's kid. So looking forward to the sequel to this coming soon. There was a movie, this is Better Off Dead. This was a movie, for some reason, I ended up watching quite a bit when I was in All Places daycare. And I don't know how that's possible, because I don't think it's, well, I guess it's PG, but yeah, very fun John Cusack movie. Haven't seen it in quite a while. I might pop it in here after a while. I can't go wrong. Bill and Ted's Most Excellent Adventures. It's got both The Bogus Journey and the original in there by Shout Factory. Shout Select, yeah. So I had to, of course, when they did the sequel a few years back, I got the sequel. Another good biopic, and I'm not really into the biopics, but Bohemian Rhapsody. Wow, that was quite an experience in the theater. Watching Rami Malek, yeah, I think that's his name. He was in Mr. Robot. I actually have that complete series too, but him as Freddie Mercury, awesome performance. It was cool also hearing his, like, having people sing along in the theater. I mean, you don't have that too often with the massive thing of Queen's catalog. Then I got all the Bourne movies. Yeah, my wife got me onto this flick. I never watched them when they first came out. Didn't get to really see them well, I take that back. I saw the Jeremy Renner sequel in the theater, but I never got to see the originals until my wife made me watch them. So I thank her on that. Another classic coming your way, Blues Brothers. Just, yeah, the movie speaks for itself there. Another movie that I grew up watching a lot, and I didn't really know about the rated, well, I didn't really watch the rated R version until I got older, because the only version I would ever see was on TBS, TNT, cable TV, where it was all edited. But this kind of had an impact on me. And I've been fortunate enough to meet Anthony Michael Hall and what's her name? The chick in the pink. I don't know, but I just drew a blank there. That's weird. But up next, a more current flick that I just got for my birthday back in March, Bullet Train, 4K. Then my wife got me this really, I'd never really wanted to see this movie. Didn't really have an urge to. I'm not really a big Kevin Hart fan, but until he started doing stuff with The Rock, and this was one of their earlier flicks together. Funny movie. And, with Jumanji and stuff, which I also have. Next up, let's see. We got Charlie's Angels. I have both Charlie's Angels movies. Let's see here. Yeah, they were really... I just thought they were really fun. Yeah, I watched the series when I was a little kid. Didn't really understand it or appreciate it until I got older. But I think Drew Barrymore, Cameron Diaz, and Lucy Liu did a fantastic job in these first two movies. And no, I have not seen the current one. I don't plan on seeing the current one. It's just not my thing, the way it looks like they took the sequel. The Craft, man. Love this flick. I first saw this in the theaters actually when I was living in Aurora, Colorado, doing a project or doing a thing called AmeriCorps government thing. But yeah, this for me, I don't know, and some may agree or disagree with me, but that movie was probably the start of what I think maybe spawned Charmed, the CW show. about the witches. Big trilogy, awesome. Got 35 years. And that was got this a couple years ago, so they're up maybe 37. It's all 3 Crocodile Dundee movies. First time ever they've put them on Blu-ray. Yeah, it speaks for itself. Well, you can't have any collection here now without Clue. Just that, this was classic Parker Brothers, based off the Parker Brothers board game, and I'm just really glad I have picked that up finally. Next up, more recent flick here. I don't know why this was not released in 4K yet, but here we go. Cocaine Bear, awesome flick, very meaningful, very cool, and current, one of my current things. This next movie, I was very, I don't know, I'm not sure if you guys are ready for this. Ah, yeah, VIP in full effect. Cool as Ice with Vanilla Ice, cult classic right now. They recently, like just in the last couple years, put this on Blu-ray finally, and I'm glad to have it. I know it's cheesy, it's corny, but it's Vanilla Ice is probably one of my favorite rappers out of the 90s, and he continues to entertain and stuff. Very interesting flick. Yeah, I'm not sure. Some of these I need to watch again because it's been so long. But I actually enjoyed this movie. Had a good cast in it. Didn't do very well in the theater, but there's cowboys and aliens. Another movie I have just recently got, but I have not. Well, I think I got this for Christmas a couple years ago. A lot of my stuff I haven't really watched since I got it, but I think that will change. Dark Crystal, classic Jim Henson movie. I'll have to get back on it. Try to watch that sometime. Another big blockbuster here for Kevin Costner, Dances with Wolves. Yeah, it's just the Blu-ray, but I honestly have only seen bits of this movie. My wife got it for me for Valentine's Day or Father's Day or something a couple years back. But yeah, good flick that I've heard, and I look forward to viewing it soon. Okay, big Danny Trejo fan here. This is Dead in Tombstone. It's really cool because it's also it's got a good cast in it. Anthony Michael Hall, Mickey Rourke. Yeah, like I said, some of these are kind of throwing me off because I've seen them, but they're a little. I'm gonna have to watch some of these again because I've forgotten I had that. But that was a birthday present. Another big movie. I hope they maybe do a 4K of this eventually. Dick Tracy. A mega blockbuster that had Madonna, also had Madonna in it. Yeah, I can recall one thing about this flick. They basically was the first time I ever heard them doing a midnight premiere for a movie in the theater. I never got to see it in the theater, and when I did see it, it was later on, and I got to watch it on VHS. Yeah, but now I got it on Blu-ray. Next up, I've got the Steelbox version of all the Die Hard movies. Another interesting trilogy of movies that I've only seen the first one, but Walmart had this in a way you could get the other 2 sequels, and the sequels have Dave Bautista in both of them, and the third one's got 50 Cent, I guess. But yeah, fun movie with Arnold and Stallone. Good flick. Growing up a lot, I just recently got this again. E.T., one of my favorite all-time movies here, and I never have ever really cried at a movie, but when I saw when I watched E.T. again, when they put it back in theaters, the very ending, I've always teared up at that part, that when E.T. goes, "I'll be right here," his finger lights up. I don't know why, but that's always been an effective movie for me, and yeah. Yeah. So, but I love Drew Barrymore in this. Henry Thomas, E.T. And this is the 4K version. I just upgraded that. Next up, it's the Academy Award winning Everything Everywhere All in Once with Michelle Yeoh and Jamie Lee Curtis, and a lot of Academy Awards off this flick. So let me see here. This is I feel like I'm going at a good pace, and I'm really doing this for documentation, like I said I think earlier, just so everybody knows what I have, in case something ever happens to my collection. Okay, I got the Expendables, all three, the trilogy right here. Next up, surprisingly, as weird as this is, surprisingly, I don't have the third one yet, but I really have enjoyed the Fantastic Beasts series more, actually, and I'll probably get some people out there to disagree with me. I actually like it more than the Harry Potter. It's more enjoyable for some reason, but I have the first two. I'm gonna upgrade and maybe upgrade these to 4K and get the third one. Really off the wall adaptation of another classic TV show, Fantasy Island. Yeah, it was a fun flick. Enjoyed it. Of course, I have the whole Fast and Furious collection on Blu-ray. But the funny thing about these movies is I have not. The only one I've seen is the very first one. Yeah, so. And I've seen bits of the second one, and I've seen all of Hobbs and Shaw. So I really need to sit down, and I may not go see the new one yet, Fast X. Heard it's not that great, but when it's released, I will probably end up buying it just to have the complete collection, and I will eventually watch them too. Next up, Ferris Bueller's Day Off, another 80s classic right there. I was really into this movie. It's a very interesting story about how Saraya from AEW became a wrestler and joined WWE as Paige, and with The Rock. I mean, it's kind of an underrated movie, I think, in my opinion, but a very factual based movie at the same time. Next up, I've got a mega disc version of Flight of the Navigator. This version in particular it's a Disney classic, was only released overseas, and they did not do a physical Blu-ray for the States for some reason, and I don't know why. I don't know if Disney just lost touch with wanting to even keep this as a memory and whatnot, but good flick, loved it. Yeah, but yeah, I got this actually online through Second Sight Films, so go check them out if you want to pick up your copy of a classic children's movie. Next up, it's all the Ghostbuster movies. It's the ones from their 4K upgraded collection. So there's one, Ghostbuster 2, Ghostbusters Afterlife, and then a whole separate thing. They put all their special features and stuff on a 2-disc, 2 discs. So have all those. Coming down here, this is going to be a long video. I hope you guys stick with me through it. I just have a lot to show. Another great documentary, if you like Ghostbusters, is called Ghost Heads. It just talks about the fandom of the movies and whatnot, and features Matt Cardona. He's he was a WWE wrestler as Zack Ryder, and now he's just wrestling on the Independents and Impact Wrestling as Matthew Cardona. So good flick, great, very interesting documentary. He's actually got interviews with cast and the crew of the original movies. I actually got this next one, My Love of Star Trek. This is called For the Love of Spock. It's basically a film by his son and about the popularity of the show. The character has interviews with the original cast and the current casts of these shows. It's very good. Then I got good old Forrest Gump. Every time this movie's on TV, I have to watch it. Don't know why. It's just another one of those movies that I always have to watch. But I'm hoping to upgrade this to 4K. Like, I'm right now in the process of upgrading a lot of my movies and whatnot to 4K. Yeah. Very interesting Jackie Chan movie here, The Forbidden Kingdom. It was really cool because it also has Jet Li in it. So, yeah, it's been a while since I've seen this, so I can't really remember what it was about. But very good at martial arts flick right there. Surprising movie for me here coming out of when it came out was Free Guy. Very fun Ryan Reynolds movie. Hope they actually continue with it in some way or shape or form. Then they always consider Galaxy Quest, and I don't know why. They always consider Galaxy Quest in the Star Trek fandom as a Star Trek movie. I've enjoyed it. I enjoy it. It's been a while since I've seen this as well. But yeah, I don't know why they've considered this a Star Trek movie, but whenever you pop up Star Trek movies, Galaxy Quest pops up too. So fun flick. Jason Bateman. Yeah, it's a very intriguing plot. I've really enjoyed this flick. Love it. Yeah. Then of course, next up, I got all the G.I. Joe movies. Let me say something about these. I don't think they aren't the best, but they could do so much more, and I hope they do. And they tried to do something better with the Snake Eyes movie. But yeah, they're just fun action movies. I like fun action movies. They may be a little dumb and off the wall, but I just like that kind of entertainment, I guess. Let's see, next up. Well, okay. I got all the Grease movies for the 40th anniversary. They put out the set. I don't know what they'll say. I like them. I've only seen the first two. I didn't watch the remake that was on TV, the live version. And I've only seen bits of the second one, but it's always the musical numbers. So, and my friend was that one that actually liked Grease 2, I think, more than the first Grease. But it's yeah, I'll have to watch more of those here. Of course, yeah, both Gremlin movies. So much is going on with the Gremlins world currently. They just released a trailer for the new cartoon. I think it's a cartoon. And there's talks of doing a third movie. Next here, we got Godzilla vs. Kong. Enough said. You don't need any more explanation other than that. And I know the package they just fell out of the slipcover. We'll move on here. Another good flick that I just upgraded to 4K. Gremlins. Or, not Gremlin. I just did Gremlins. Goonies. Oh my gosh. Yeah, I'm just going to see how this plays out, but because I got a lot to still go through. So yeah, but yeah, Goonies. I've met Sean Astin, Heike Kwan, played Data, and Corey Feldman. I've met some of them. Another good flick, good musical, Greatest Showman. I have the first Happy Death Day, and now I got the sequel. It's a lot kind of like Groundhog Day, but with the horror element in it. They're fun flicks. And I got Hansel and Gretel, Witch Hunters. I didn't know what to think of it, but it ended up being pretty fun. I got that as a gift. And all the Harry Potter movies. Yeah, I got them all. They're double. They have 1 and 2, 3 and 4, 5, 6, and then 7 has 2 discs by itself. So yeah, another big flick I always watched growing up was Hook. This one's actually signed by Dante Basco, who plays Rufio. Met him, I think, last year at Fan Expo Denver. Howl's Moving Castle. I've gotten this, and I've heard it's really good, but I have not yet to watch it, so I can't really give you a take on it. Plan on watching it soon. Another surprising couple new trilogy or movie series, The Hitman's Bodyguard and The Hitman's Wife's Bodyguard. I don't know, these were kind of off the wall, but I really, really enjoyed them. Another Ryan Reynolds movie. I got Hunter Killer. Yeah, basically it's Battleship. I don't know. It's interesting. I just, a lot of these I've really enjoyed seeing them in theater, and I just wanted to own them personally. I've seen a lot of movies. Inception, In Time, Justin Timberlake, both of the It movies, Indiana Jones, the complete series adventure, not anymore now that the new one's coming out in June. So I have both Independence Day movies, which is, you think, oh, they're just the Blu-ray versions. Well, these are actually autographed by the producer, Dean Devlin. Happened to meet him a couple times at Starfest convention in Denver when it was still going. So there's the first one. Oh, hang on. Stand by. And here's his autograph. Probably not the best sequel, and they should never have made it, but you know, I'll have to watch this one again because I really feel like it was just not the best flick out there. I mean, it brought back some characters and whatnot, but without Will Smith, if it had Will Smith in it, it probably would have worked better than the way it did. I've got another interesting take on a classic story, The Invisible Man. It was fun. Yeah, enjoyed it. Then I've got John Wick 2 and 3. Fourth one's coming soon. Looking forward to adding that to the collection. Also thought about upgrading to 4K out with this series. They're like, where's the first one? Well, I have it digitally. So yeah, that's kind of where I'm at with that. Let's see. Of course, I have all the Jurassic Park movies. Another one that in time I'll probably upgrade to 4K from Blu-ray. If it's the way things are going, I don't know how physical media is going to work in the future here, but then I have the sequels and the first of the Jurassic World sequels in the Jurassic Park box set there. Let's see. Really good series, and I hope maybe eventually they'll continue it. I have all the Jumanji movies. The Rock and Kevin Hart. But, you know, I have the classic one with Robin Williams. Then the next two. But these group of people have made that game kind of, or the whole series, fun. I really enjoyed it. Kind of out of nowhere, I've been very fortunate. This is a movie called Jump Shot. It's about the creator of the jump shot, Kenny Sailors. He was a graduate from the University of Wyoming and was credited for the first ever jump shot. Very good documentary, and I'm very fortunate to have known Kenny and hung out with him several times. So good flick if you like basketball, that kind of stuff there. Coming up next, let's see. I got the 4K collection of the Karate Kid trilogy. Does not include the next Karate Kid with Hilary Swank or the Jaden Smith remake with Jackie Chan. Even though Miyagi was in the next Karate Kid with Hilary Swank, it's always going to be, the trilogy is always going to be more important than those other two movies, at least for me. And especially with all the stuff they've done with Cobra Kai. So that series on Netflix. Coming up, fun, off the wall, two movies, Kick-Ass. My favorite, wannabe superhero pretty much. Kindergarten Cop. Good, funny flick. Arnold Schwarzenegger, classic Arnold Schwarzenegger movie. Then I have all the Kingsman movies. Whether or not they're supposed to continue this story somehow, some way. They did the prequel, but I think they're supposed to pick up with XZ again in the next one. But good flicks, fun flicks. Surprisingly good flick right here. Last Night in Soho. Check it out. It's pretty good. Another classic that I loved growing up as a kid, The Last Starfighter. I actually want to update this one. I think a 4K release is coming soon, so I actually want to get this upgraded. But good classic movie right there. The Lost City. Okay, this didn't get good ratings or was panned really good by critics, but I enjoyed it. I thought it was just hilarious, just fun, dumb flick, but it was fun. Lucy. Ooh, I didn't realize this until just now how the cover does that. That's really cool. But yeah, another good Scarlett Johansson flick before she became Black Widow in the Marvel saga. I got both Machetes with Danny Trejo. Really good series. Yeah, I don't know. It'd be cool if they brought him back some way for another one. But yeah, get to meet him coming up. Maybe possibly meet him coming up in July. Okay, another dumb action fun flick pack here. The Marine from WWE movies. I've only seen the first one. They've had 6 sequels. One with Ted DiBiase, and all the rest with The Miz. I actually want to pick up the other ones with The Miz because then I'll have a complete collection. Yeah. Of course, I have the Ultimate Matrix. It's on Blu-ray. The Maze Runner series trilogy. And let's move back up here. I have all the Men in Blacks, including the recent one, Men in Black International. All the Mission Possibles. I really want to upgrade to 4K on these. Gotta rewatch them all before the new one comes out here this summer. Mortal Kombat from 1985 or 95, and the current Mortal Kombat. The others aren't worth mentioning. I don't want them in my collection. The Mountain Between Us. Interesting flick with this one. It has Kate Winslet and Idris Elba. It's about a plane crash. They crash on a mountain and they try to get off the mountain. Pretty cool. or she's on one mountain and he's on the other, and they come together to try to survive and get home. So have all the Muppet movies that have been released on Blu-ray. Yeah, there's a couple that are still out there that I want to get, but they're not important. I want to also pick up eventually the Muppet Christmas Carol, which I only have on DVD right now, but good flick. Another good action flick was the London's Fallen series, that has Fallen series with Gerard Butler. And I want to correct something. I just realized that yeah, this is the restoring of the video. I showed you once. The previous Back to the Future thing that I thought was about restoring the DeLorean is actually this one right here, called Out of Time. The other one, let's see, is called Back in Time. Pretty much, I think it's just a documentary. I got them confused. This one's about the documentary about the whole trilogy, and then this one is a documentary about how they restored the DeLorean. All right, but both good ones to pick up if you're interested in like Back to the Future stuff. Over the Hedge, fun movie. Got all the Paranormal Activity movies except the last one, called Next of Kin. I've enjoyed them. They're just stupid humor fun. Then we got Princess Bride. This cover was cool because you have it like this, and it's the Princess Bride. You flip it upside down. Oh, it still says the Princess Bride. Thought that was cool. Got all the Pirates of the Caribbean movies. Another dumb fun series of movies growing up was the Police Academy ones. Loved them. Of course, I got Pulp Fiction. I do have both Quiet Places. Only have the first one on digital though. So, Rampage, another action video game adaptation with The Rock. Ready Player One. Got all the Resident Evil movies. I actually want to upgrade those to 4K too. Got all the Scream movies. Yes, I remember growing up, MTV Cribs, whenever they would talk to a rapper or whatnot. Oh, I got my copy of Scarface. Funny thing is, I have my copy of Scarface as well, but I've only seen it one time, and that was an edited version on TV. So I've yet to watch an unedited version of Scarface. Like I said, the Scream movies. Another series I think they're going to bring back and relive here, Sherlock Holmes. And these are the first two movies with Jude Law and Robert Downey Jr. Good series. Going on with some animation stuff here. South Park. Classic cult movie right here, Showgirls with Elizabeth Berkley from Saved by the Bell. Shrek. All the Shrek movies. Both Short Circuit 1 and 2, Sin City, Scooby. Oh, hit the wrong button there. But yeah, okay. This is the Snoopy, not Scooby. I don't know. I do have Scooby. Yeah, there's Scoob. Good animated take on Scooby-Doo. The Snoopy collection has one of my favorite all-time Snoopy shorts or made for TV movies. Called Race for Your Life, Charlie Brown. And this was the only way I could find it. And got that. Both Sonic movies. Spaceballs. 4K. Classic movie growing up. Always watched it. Actually wanted to go to space camp at one time. And has Leaf Phoenix, who later becomes Joaquin Phoenix. So River Phoenix's brother, and he moved on to become Joker and whatnot. Coming down here, got the original Space Jam with Michael Jordan and Bugs Bunny. A good movie spin-off, or movie they've done recently with Will Smith and Tom Holland. Spies in Disguise. Good flick. Then I've got all the the SpongeBob movies that have been out. I've only seen the first one. No, I've seen bits of the second one, but I've not seen the third. And then here we are with my Star Trek upgraded Blu-ray or 4K collection. Got Star Trek The Next Generation also recently, and the Calvin Timeline Star Trek movies. I kept this. This is the Star Trek Into Darkness Steelbook. Starship Troopers in 4K, 20th Anniversary Edition. Then I get into the Star Wars movies. So I got Solo. I got Rogue One. I've got the original 9 movies box set. Thought that set was really cool. I'm not sure if I'm going to upgrade to 4K on those or not. Maybe eventually. But then they had Force Awakens, Last Jedi, and The Rise of Skywalker. And this is actually a really fun movie. It was the first movie Blu-ray that I ever got. It came with my PlayStation 3 when they started pushing the Blu-ray format. Talladega Nights, good flick. Tenet, another good Christopher Nolan flick. All the Terminator movies. Ninja Turtles. All the Ninja Turtles. Let me fix this here. Put the original 3 movies. Let's see. Got They Live in 4K. Classic Rowdy Piper movie. Those Who Wish Us Dead. Good Angelina Jolie flick. Of course, Titanic. If they release this, Titanic. God, dropping stuff here. Hopefully they'll get a 4K version of this soon. It seems like James Cameron's trying to get more money out of people. But good flick. I always liked Titanic. That's one I saw several times in the theater. Total Recall, the 4K. The first 2 Tomb Raider movies with Angelina Jolie. These are another 2. Gosh, a lot of my movies I'm realizing that I've not seen, like actually watched through. I've seen bits of both of these movies when they were on cable, but yeah, now I have a big video game fan, so I like some of the adaptations that they do. Let's see here. And I got the current Tomb Raider that just came out. Good flick, a good version of it. I think I enjoyed it. Of course, picked up Top Gun Maverick. This is the double collection with it's got the original and Top Gun Maverick. Steelbook version of the 30th anniversary edition of Transformers the movie. Then I've got all the Transformer movies, the modern Michael Bay Transformer flicks. Another cool one that Disney did. They did a double pack of Tron, the classic, and then the Legacy movie that came out several years later, but that's pretty cool how the cover is on that. I'm going back to the video game adaptation. Got Tom Holland as Mark Wahlberg, the Uncharted movie. I don't really have a lot of horror movies in my collection, but this one, Us, was really enjoyable. I want to actually get the trilogy, get Us, Get Out, and then Nope. Yeah, that was the recent one. I've seen all these, but the last one, it's Kate Beckinsale, Underworld. Another underrated movie that came out. Was hoping they would do more of these, but they haven't. Wedding Singer. I hope they do a 4K version of this eventually. Weird Science from Arrow Video. I'm very glad I have this. I was very fortunate, and if you've seen in some of my other videos, I've met the whole cast. Well, except I've met Anthony Michael Hall, Ian Mitchell Smith, and Kelly LeBrock. So they put out a special edition of that. Willy Wonka, Chocolate Factory, Gene Wilder, pretty awesome. 4K. I'm not sure. I've seen bits of this one with Johnny Depp, but wasn't sure how much I really watched of it because it was just not Gene Wilder. But Wizard, this, oh my gosh, Fred Savage, classic. Loved it because they pushed the Nintendo debut of Super Mario Brothers 3 in a movie, and this was the first movie I saw that they actually had a licensed Nintendo Championship. It was really cool. Yeah, classic. Another classic. Who Framed Roger Rabbit? One of the best live action intermixed with animation movie I've ever seen. Another movie that I bought, and I don't know why I did, but Wizard of Oz, even though it's on all the time, and on cable, and TNT, TBS. It's where they put most of the movies out lately. But yeah, there's that. Yeah, it's one I always have to watch too. Even though I own it, I have to watch it on TV every year. Big documentary about Star Trek Deep Space Nine. Very good. Just talks about the show and the cast, reminisce and stuff. Good documentary there. And we got Jason Statham's Wrath of Men. Good Guy Ritchie film. Then I've got, this is it. It was pretty much filmed before Michael Jackson passed away. He was getting ready for his final tour, and yeah, very cool behind the scenes of him prepping for his tours and stuff. Then I've got, let's see here, got two Pink concert videos. She's probably one of my favorite singers. The Funhouse tour was first. I didn't get to see that in person. That's why I bought the DVD, Blu-ray. I mean, and then the Truth About Love tour. Got to see her in Denver, Colorado. Pretty much do the whole set list. I have some videos older videos on the channel, where I shared some of that content that I took from that. All right, moving on here. Next up, I kind of keep all my Disney movies together. So, got Big Hero 6, very underrated. I call it a Marvel movie because it's got a cameo from Stan Lee in it. But got all the car movies, Coco. Going a little old school here, Honey, I Shrunk the Kids. And then the sequel, Blew Up the Kid. I got those off eBay. The Incredible movies, both 1 and 2. Another rock movie, Jungle Cruise. I enjoyed this flick. A lot of people had mixed thoughts about it, but I liked it. Then a classic here. Maybe they'll put these on 4K, I'm hoping. But Mary Poppins, and this is the 50th anniversary edition. Always another flick that I need to always watch when it's on. Then I got its sequel, Mary Poppins Returns, Emily Blunt. I enjoyed it. It kind of brought me back to some of the lessons out of the first Mary Poppins movie. Then I got the classic trilogy, another trilogy here. The Ducks, Emilio Estevez, The Mighty Ducks. Monsters Inc., Onward. Kind of, my thought, kind of a sequel to Wizard of Oz. It did not get very good reviews either, but I enjoyed it. Another classic. I only got this really for Rescues Down Under, but it also included the classic Rescuers, the first movie. I always thought those were fun. Snow White. Yeah, Snow White. Which version is this? That's the Diamond Edition. Yeah, I don't know. Walt Disney's first, well, I think first or second. No, this was the first. Sleeping Beauty was the second, I think. Soul. I cannot speak right now, but Soul. I have all the Toy Story movies, including the fourth one. I'm reading somewhere today, as of the recording of this, that they're making a fifth one. I think they should have stopped at 3, and I've yet to see 4, but I'm looking forward to watching that eventually. Up. Good Pixar film there. Up and Wall-E, probably my 2 favorite Pixar movies. Outside the original Toy Story. Wreck-It Ralph. And the sequel. And a surprising one, I liked Zootopia. And I got that free through the Disney movie rewards. Now I'm getting into my superhero collection here. Starting off with the original Batman the movie with Adam West, Burt Ward. Then, really cool, they did a couple animated spin-offs of these guys. Using their voices and stuff, but there's Return of the Cape Crusaders. These were fun, and I don't have a lot of animated superhero movies, but I got these basically because they reused, they used the voice of Adam West, Burt Ward, and this one that did have Julie Newmar as the Catwoman. Then I got the classic first 4 Batman movies. Looking forward to seeing the return of Michael Keaton in the Flash coming out this summer. And then I have the Christopher Nolan trilogy. It was fine. I don't know. It seemed a little darker for me than I was used to, but this made up for it. Lego Batman movie, fun flick. Will Arnett is the voice of Batman. And surprisingly, Robert Pattinson, the Robert Pattinson Batman movie, good flick. I enjoyed this a lot more than I thought I was going to. Then I got the classic Christopher Reeve movie collection, also including the Superman Returns with Brandon Routh. Then I got Man of Steel, first Henry Cavill Superman movie. Then Batman vs. Superman, Dawn of Justice. I ended up, and I had the original Justice League, but when I got that, I gave it to my stepson, and I got the 4-hour Zack Snyder Justice League, which I have yet to watch. I'll get to it. The first Suicide Squad movie was fun. I enjoyed it, and I've enjoyed both Wonder Womans. Aquaman, looking forward to what they do with him, with all the way the DC movies are going lately. Shazam. I'm still trying to get Fury of the Gods. That was another thing I was doing. I've been having a hard time trying to find the sequel that just came out in the last week or so. Yeah, physical media is becoming really hard to find. You'd think a current flick like Shazam Fury of the Gods would be available at Walmart, a place like Walmart, but I mean it did. They had the DVD. They had 2 of the Blu-rays, and it was the more expensive one. I'm like, what's up with that? But I will get the sequel. I enjoyed the sequel. A lot of people didn't, because a lot of people think that that's pretty much the end of Shazam's character. And I'm realizing, oh, I do. Never mind. I've got all the DC movies in order of when they were released. I've got Birds of Prey, that was fun. The James Gunn Suicide Squad. I do have Black Adam. Even though now Dwayne Johnson may not return as Black Adam. There's been a lot of, everybody knows about this shakeup at Warner Brothers with the superhero franchises. I got the first, most underrated trilogy, but Marvel is working on a new Blade, but this is the Wesley Snipes Blade trilogy. Fun flicks. Loved him. I got the original 2 Fantastic Four movies. Got both Ghost Rider movies. Underrated franchise. I when they brought him back on Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. TV show, I enjoyed Gabriel Luna as. Then now we'll just go in order, and my Marvel movies are in order of when they were released. It's the very first Incredible Hulk. Well, not the Eric Bana Incredible Hulk, but the first Marvel Incredible Hulk with Edward Norton. I got this mainly because I haven't seen it, and I still haven't seen it. But I got it because it also was the first time they put a Blu-ray disc in a green box instead of a Blu-ray box. But that's what I need to get to eventually and start watching. So. And the Iron Man movies, Captain America, Avengers, the first Avengers, then Iron Man 3, Thor. All these are in order of how they were released in theaters. Recently I picked up, Ant-Man 4K, good flick. But you guys know the Marvel franchise, and a lot of them are. Since they're so recent, I have mostly in 4K. Then I have the original Tobey Maguire Spider-Man trilogy, the Andrew Garfield 2 movie set, and into the Spider-Verse. Yeah, and then the X-Men movies. So they're kind of in order. The only one I don't have is X-Men Origins Wolverine. That's the only one I don't have. I have the whole X-Men story, and it's cool now that they're bringing Hugh Jackman back for Deadpool 3. So then I've got a bunch of just random WrestleManias. When I started collecting those when they were just because, and some other documentaries. I was a big fan of WCW, so they did some Monday Night War shows, really good documentaries about the wrestling wars on Monday night back in the 90s. Now we'll go up to my final section here. It's every single Star Trek that's been put out on Blu-ray. Started out, I have the complete Star Trek Enterprise collection, and I've put them in order of how they are in the TV universe. Enterprise is first, even though Discovery's more newer. In the timeline, they're right after Enterprise. And then I got Strange New Worlds, the classic first 3 seasons on Blu-ray of the original Star Trek, Star Trek the animated series on Blu-ray, then the full restorated versions of seasons of Star Trek The Next Generation, and then they did a couple special ones, the Best of Both Worlds, first ever 2-parter, and then the finale 2-parter, All Good Things. Then I got Lower Decks seasons 1, 2, 3, and Picard and Prodigy. Then of course, now I'm getting into my DVD bits here. Got Back to the Future, the animated series, the classic Beavis and Butthead animated series, Birds of Prey, CW, ill-fated CW show They only had a season, but it was fun. Had Ashley Scott as the daughter of Batman. The first season of Charmed, even though they've all been released now in a big box set, I do have the first season. I eventually want to get that box set. Cobra Kai, all the seasons of Cobra Kai. Another show I'm always going to be upset that they canceled. They could have did so much more with it. Was the Dark Angel, James Cameron's Dark Angel, that only had a 2-season run on Fox. Fox is just dumb. They couldn't find a good time slot for this show. I had the complete Dead Zone with Anthony Michael Hall, that series. Like I said, I've met Anthony Michael Hall on several occasions, so it's cool to have a bit of his best TV work, I think. So, and then there's the other 2 seasons. I've got the complete seasons of Dukes of Hazzard, just a show I grew up with growing up as a kid, and the sequel movies when they all came back together. Get to meet Catherine Bach here coming up, Colorado Springs Comic-Con in August, so I might actually have this signed by her. It's a good picture of all of them together. Another movie I've not yet seen, but my wife got for me, Extremely Loud and Incredibly Close. She said that was pretty good. Classic Nicole Kidman, Tom Cruise movie, Far and Away. The original John Wesley Shipp Flash series that only lasted a season. Matilda, classic, another classic right there. 3 of the Muppet movies. I have Muppets Take Manhattan, which is not on Blu-ray. Or no, it is on Blu-ray, but I kept it. But I kept the DVD because it had more on it. And Muppets from Space. And a DVD that's really hard to find. And they just released the version of the DVD on Disney Plus, but upgraded it to 4K. I'm hoping they'll bring it out this coming Christmas. But that and Muppets Wizard of Oz. So yeah, I'm a big Muppet fan. Got all the Nightmare on Elm Street movies. I've got really cool movie about the space shuttle program. Both seasons of The Orville. I'm hoping that Disney and Hulu will put out the 3rd season, or entail maybe make them Blu-rays. Don't know why they decided to put them on DVD. That's one thing I hate about physical media, is that the technology is there. They should be able to, like they put Knight Rider on Blu-ray, but originally was not intended for Blu-ray. So I just hope they put the Orville out, the New Horizons, and re-release the other 2 on Blu-ray. But then again, there we got Knight Rider, the complete series of Lost, Mr. Robot with Rami Malek, good show from USA. I also have the complete Quantum Leap series, and I got the complete remake of V. Fun show. I actually got to meet her at one of the conventions I attended regularly when the show was out. I got her autograph too. Monica Baccarin, she was in Firefly. But yeah, good retelling. Then, I wish they would have put this on Blu-ray, but Psych, just fun, dumb show. Loved the characters. Good show. And they've done a couple movies since. And finally, wrapping things up, I will show you something. And it's not a movie, but it's always cool. It's actually from Playmobil. It's Kit, and I'm planning on getting this signed by William Daniels, who's the voice of Kit. Mr. Feeney. When I actually meet him in August, Colorado Springs Comic-Con. But lights up. But yeah, that's pretty cool. He says other stuff too, but I'll shut him down for. But then I put all my pins like collector's pins, Star Trek, whatnot, in this little area. But yeah, those all my pin collection, and a few other like different movie compilations that have come out. They're part of my Blu-ray collection as well. Stealth and Vertical Limit, and then this one was a fun one too. But finally, and I still have a bunch of DVDs as well. Parent Trap, Ready to Rumble, fun wrestling movie. Yeah, Speed. But yeah, also have a few DVDs, but they're mainly Star Trek related. Orville, whatnot. And I've got the special editions of some of the Star Wars movies or music. So thank you for joining me on this collection video of my media collection. If you like what you see, or you have memories of your own about these movies, hit me up in the comment section below. Yeah, thanks for going down memory lane with me on this interesting video. And if you've stuck with it through the whole thing, thanks for watching. Till next time, live long and prosper. Let's get into it.